Welcome to Focus here on France 24. Thousands of bodies strewn across beaches, homes totally wrecked and supermarkets running short of food. Just a few of the massive problems affecting the people of Japan after last week's earthquake and tsunami. In a moment, we'll ask if Japan can cope on its own or if there's anything the international community and ordinary people like ourselves even can do to help. First, though, let's have a report now from the town of Miami Sanriku, which is, despite being several kilometres inland, felt the full force of the tsunami more than any.
Just 1 week ago, this was a vibrant fishing town, away from the bustling metropolises and home to some 17,000 people. But it took only a matter of minutes for a 10-metre wave to wash Miami Sanriku into the ocean. Over half of its population are still missing.
My house is over there at the bottom of the hill. That rubble, that's my house. The water came in very high and very fast. It was terrible.
Few structures survived. The hospital remains, but was severely flooded. A fishing boat, a reminder of a once prosperous industry, now sits atop the building's entrance. Patients' rooms are filled with mud and silt. Rescue helicopters found their efforts hampered by the extent of the devastation. Still, some 200 people were evacuated from the hospital's roof. Others sheltering in the elementary school car park were also saved after writing SOS on the ground. But not everyone was as fortunate. Somewhere beneath the mud and debris, police believe there is a train filled with commuters. Now the tide has retreated, rescue efforts have stepped up again. 3 days after the tsunami, the teams remain determined.
We're looking for survivors. We're looking everywhere. We still have hope.
As the hours tick by, chances of finding survivors diminish. Still, rescue teams will dig through the rubble until all hope has faded.
Well, joining me on the line from Geneva is Elizabeth Bios, UN spokesperson for humanitarian affairs. Thanks very much for speaking to us. This could turn into a major nuclear incident. Are you prepared? Can you be prepared for that?
I think that Japan is responding to three different emergencies. Of course, the nuclear radiation threat. For the moment, we're in constant contact with the Japanese authority, and in fact, the nuclear agency, the International Atomic Energy Agency, is sharing information on an hour-by-hour basis and has activated an emergency cell. On the other end, the World Health Organization, also responsible for the health in case of radiation, has all its experts on alert. They have also activated their emergency cell. They are sharing information. Over 200,000 people have been evacuated by the Japanese within a 20 kilometers radius to the plant. Now, specialized teams have been deployed to the evacuation center as well to monitor the radiation levels of those evacuated. And we are following really hour by hour the situation.
Elizabeth Bios, UN spokesman for humanitarian affairs, thanks very much. I'm also joined on the line by Francis Marcus. He's from the International Red Cross. I hope you managed to hear what Elizabeth said there. Does it reassure you?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear part of the interview. Obviously, yes. It's good that the international community is fully involved, and from a Red Cross perspective, we have some international Red Cross and some other countries' Red Cross representatives also here to work with the Japanese. At the same time, it's a very fluid and fast evolving situation here on the ground in Japan, and the exact implications of the nuclear situation on the humanitarian operations are not yet clear, but certainly they will make them more challenging.
I was going to say, just starting off with the nuclear problem, presumably you have some kind of preparations in hand to deal with that, do you?
There are preparations both from the government side and from the Red Cross side. I mean, the government, obviously has its contingency plans and its equipment, and the Red Cross, Japanese Red Cross, has a certain amount of equipment and personnel trained in decontamination, but it's on a relatively small scale. So the Japanese government will be the primary actor in this. But obviously, the Japanese Red Cross is supporting the humanitarian operation and supporting the Japanese government as an auxiliary in whatever way it can.
But having the threat of the nuclear potential explosion over you as well must be seriously hampering the efforts which you're already putting in to try and help people who've been affected by the earthquake and the tsunami.
Yes, I mean, there's no doubt that it does make the situation more complex, and because, as you know, people now within 30 kilometers of the reactors have been advised to stay indoors, and obviously that has implications for how you provide humanitarian relief and aid and support. So it definitely will make the situation more complex. But what the exact implications are yet, because the telecommunications with the disaster-affected areas are still so difficult, it's hard to come up with a comprehensive picture at this point.
Give us a bit of an idea about the kind of things that your teams and other charities and organisations are actually doing. What is actually happening on the ground?
Well, this is very much a Japanese Red Cross operation from our side. We don't yet have any substantive international involvement because the Japanese Red Cross are able to handle the situation from their resources at the moment. They have around 90 medical teams in the disaster area who are giving medical care and psychosocial support. They're providing relief supplies such as food and drinking water, and generally helping to make conditions as bearable as possible for those who have lost their homes and, in many cases, livelihoods and loved ones. But it's a very, very large-scale humanitarian crisis, and the challenges are looking into the future, not to mention the present, are very, 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 very big.
And what about what individual people who might be watching this can actually do to help? I mean, are there collections of materials going on or financial collections that people can contribute to?
Well, at the moment, the Japanese Red Cross have said that if people would like to help the survivors, by far the most effective and useful way would be to donate money. And the way to do this is either through the Red Cross Society in whichever country people are living in, or alternatively through the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Either way, they can donate money which will be used to help with the relief, recovery and reconstruction after this massive disaster.
Francis Marcus from the International Red Cross, thank you very much for speaking to us today, and best of luck to you and your teams, of course, working out there in Japan to try to help the situation. That was today's Focus.